Key city commissioners could help determine the fate of the CEO and president of Visit Dothan. He recently admitted to swindling millions from a bank and vendors in Iowa. And until today, we had not heard from those commissioners until WDHN's Alex Valdez started asking some tough questions. He joins us now with what he found. Alex?
Amanda, these two city commissioners sit on the board of directors of Visit Dothan. They represent the interests of Visit Dothan and the city's taxpayers. And tonight, both of them are standing by confessed felon Aaron McCrate.
Aaron's doing what he was hired to do when he was brought here. And so the board, through our statement, is supporting him. And we're just, continue to support him until something changes that changes the board's mind.
Confessing to felony bank fraud charges is not one of the things that would change the board's mind. Aaron McCrate pleaded guilty to knowingly committing fraud in Cedar Rapids, giving phony numbers, misleading vendors to get money for a festival that would cost the bank and vendors more than $2 million they never got back. Shortly after he was fired as president and CEO of Go Cedar Rapids, McCrate found himself a job with the same title and responsibilities here in Dothan. Visit Dothan's board told WDHN Friday that they knew McCrate had been fired for the bank fraud incident before they hired him.
As an individual, I believe in the second chance. I believe in second chances. I'm all for second chances and just doing what's right, just giving a person what's due.
WDHN tried to talk with McCrate about his bank fraud confession. When he's sentenced, he could get up to 30 years in prison, a $1 million fine, and up to 5 years of supervised release following any prison sentence. But McCrate refused to talk about any of that. Instead, he wanted to focus on his accomplishments.
Our hotel numbers are, incredible. And, we're in the top 5% in the country as far as hotel occupancy and where we are right now compared to colleagues and cities around the state.
But do a quick Google search and those positives won't be the news that stands out. Instead, you'll see pages and pages of the current federal bank fraud case surrounding McCrate, something many people from out of state see.
Well, I say this, I voted, so I voted. I think that speaks for itself.
Both Dorsey and Crutchfield point to revenue that the organization brings into the city. In 2021, Visit Dothan reported a total of $13 million being brought in by visitor spending and $4.5 million on hotel revenue alone. And they say before McCrate, these numbers were much lower.
I think Aaron's done a great job. His office done a great job working with different departments within the city and groups outside of the city to do what's he was hired to do, and I think he's done that.
Some Dothan residents are outraged that city officials are still giving McCrate strong support after he pled guilty to bank fraud charges. Just a quick check of social media reveals comments like unbelievable and welcome to Crookville. Keep it with WDHN and we'll keep you updated as the story develops and let you know whenever McCrate is sentenced. Amanda?